Well, what a game we have on our hands, folks. This is a massive one. It's Arsenal hosting 15-time champions Real Madrid in the quarterfinals, first leg at the Emirates. Brilliant settings here at the Emirates, also known as the carpet here. Wonderful here. Brilliant. As we'll go through the team news, is very, very interesting as Arsenal are without Gabriel Magalhaes and how they will cope. Oh, Kivio's made a mistake already. Here's Mbappe. He's gone for a shot from distance. That's the first shot on target already for Real Madrid. And it's Kylian Mbappe. We're talking about Jakub Kiwior as to how he's going to try and replace Gabriel Magalhaes. That's not the start that he was trying to look for here. Brilliant. Real Madrid are so quick. They like to break with real pace. They're not going to allow Arsenal to settle one bit here. A minute on the clock already. You can see Real Madrid implying a full press here. Jude Bellingham playing on the left. Rodrigo on the right with the midfield pivot of Luka Modric, the skipper for this evening, and Eduardo Camavinga. For Arsenal, they're still missing Kai Havertz, but such a huge boost for them to get Bukayo Saka back and Gabriel Martinelli. Here's Odegaard. He's looking to prove a point against his former club, driving down the right-hand side to find Saka up against David Alaba. That battle is going to be so key going forward. Carlo Ancelotti forced to make that change with Ferland Mendy not being available here. Here's Partey to Lewis Kelly. Immediately closed down there. That will be a foul. Lewis Kelly, of course, conceded that penalty against Everton at the weekend, which was really not a penalty, was it? PGMOL have been very, very harsh with Arsenal on some of the decisions. That's why they find themselves 11 points behind in the Premier League. Here's Saka, Odegaard. Bright start this from Arsenal. Trying to camp Real Madrid in their own half here. This is really good stuff. Odegaard looking for the clip pass. Well defended there by Bellingham. Good strong header. Camavinga and Modric can clear that. Oh, that's a half-hearted clearance there by Modric. Somehow Jude Bellingham manages to pinch the ball. It's very loose, this from Real Madrid. Oh, that's a foul right at the edge of the box there. It's Bukayo Saka who invites the challenge then. It is so poor from Real Madrid, giving the ball away from Luka Modric, and then he just dangles his foot out, and it's Saka right at the edge of the box who tumbles over. Brilliant start this for Arsenal, and known for their aerial prowess with their set-piece situation. Let's see whether or not they'll be able to cause Real Madrid some start problems here early on. Well, what Arsenal would give to get an early goal here against Real Madrid. Knowing exactly what's at stake here for Arsenal, this is it. There's nothing else to play for. It's the Champions League or bust. For Real Madrid, the treble is still very much on for them. That 4-4 in the Copa del Rey, keeping them in at 3 points off the top in La Liga and the Champions League to boot. So Ancelotti once again delivering the goods deep into the season here for Real Madrid as Odegaard ready with this ball into the box. Oh, it's terrible there from Odegaard. Doesn't clear the first man. Oh, it's a poor touch there from Saka. And here's Vinicius Jr. It's on the left-hand side. Mbappe for support. Vinicius Jr. waits it and tries to find the outside of the boot pass to Mbappe, which is very well blocked by William Saliba. Oh, it's so sloppy from both teams. It was Modric first and then Saka this time, nearly giving that away. Mbappe was through. If Vinicius could have just opened his body with that outside of the boot pass, Mbappe, what is a really good chance. Well, 4 minutes on the clock here, and it's been a bright and open start for both teams here. Of course, Bayern Munich taking on Inter Milan in the second game. I'll try and keep a close eye on that as well. That'll have massive implications as to that side of the bracket. For Arsenal, they have a huge, huge mountain to climb. If they get past Real Madrid, they play the winners of Barcelona and PSG. So have to take care of business here first. And I'll be very, very interested to see how that back four of Arsenal do. We can see Kiwior almost playing as a left back with Lewis Kelly playing centrally here. Asensio with the clearance. Raul Asensio has been absolutely brilliant, drafted in as centre half. And this is a massive game. I think I wouldn't be understating this to say that this is Mikel Arteta's biggest game in his managerial career against the 15 times champion. Well, tests could not get tougher than this. 5 minutes on the clock here. Declan Rice trying to get that away. Camavinga with, it's a back heel. That's a very good pass, but they've nicked it away. This is a very bright start, this from Arsenal. Odegaard outside of the boot pass. Here's Bukayo Saka up against Alaba. Saka tries to go around the outside, trying to get that pass across. Oh, Rudiger nearly got that away. Camavinga and Luka Modric have had a very iffy start to the game here. Bit of a deflection. See that real miscommunication. Then Rudiger's clearance nearly came off Camavinga. So sloppy from both teams, really. The chances that have been, towards goal haven't been really created. It's been almost handed to them, and Arsenal have their first corner this evening here. It's Bukayo Saka on his left foot here. How Arsenal would have prayed for his fitness for this huge clash. Here he is, Saka with the ball in. It's decent. Oh, Courtois is having to punch that away. It's another corner. Pressure on the Real Madrid goalkeeper already here. That is a good ball there from Saka. Just needed someone to run across. It's so difficult to beat Courtois, not just with those one-on-ones, but even with those high claims. He's an absolute monster in goal. 6.5 minutes on the clock. Arsenal, very good start here at the Emirates. Might go short here, but whips in with his left foot. Again at the near post. It's a huge melee, but Real Madrid managed to clear that. Massive chance again. Arsenal dangerous, and Real Madrid can spring a counter-attack here. Mbappe, clever feed on the right-hand side here. Arsenal getting numbers behind quickly here. Very end-to-end stuff already. This is a perfect Champions League game, man. Has all the makings. You can see Arteta just trying to micromanage everything on the touchline. Trying to be as precise as possible. Arsenal back into their deep block here. Here's Valverde playing right back. So as I mentioned, the fullbacks for Real Madrid are makeshift here. No Carvajal because of his ACL. Ferland Mendy injured. Fran Garcia injured as well. Lucas Vazquez not trusted. Oh, that's a clever pass there. And David Raya had to be quickly off his line. Mbappe is making those darting runs between the two centre-halves. Here's Thomas Partey now. Looking to dictate Arsenal's midfield. Need to demand the ball a lot more here. Might have just left that shot here. Julian Timber does very well. That battle between Timber and Jude Bellingham down Arsenal's right-hand side will be absolutely brilliant to watch. Timber is an excellent one-on-one defender, and he'll have to try and follow Jude Bellingham, who won't be stuck on the left touchline. Believe you me, he'll be drifting into that pockets in those number 10 positions. Here's Lewis Kelly. On the left-hand side is Martinelli. Up against Valverde. Back to Lewis Kelly. Lewis Kelly, clever pass here. Declan Rice goes to the cutback. It's well defended by Asensio. Well, Real Madrid's box defending has been solid so far, and they try to release a quick counter-attack again. Here's Mbappe with a heavy first touch. Skips away from the challenge here. Real Madrid on the break here once again. Here's Mbappe. Alaba. Vinny for company. Here's Vinicius Jr. Saka helping out defensively. Oh, the clip pass. Nearly turning into a shot there. Trying to trouble Raya from a very tight angle. 8.5 minutes on the clock. Real Madrid not really troubling Arsenal too much there. Defensively, they've coped very well with the early threat of Real Madrid's forwards. They're so tricky, aren't they? And this was a chance with the header. Oh, Partey's header has to score. Will you have a look at the corner again? Thomas Partey has got a free header. And from 2 yards out, if he gets any sort of clean connection, Arsenal are looking at 1-0 here. Huge let-off there for Real Madrid. Getting away with it somehow. 9 minutes on the clock. Arteta will be very, very pleased with the way his team have come out and played here. They have not been overawed by the situation or the opponents. Here's Lewis Kelly. What a massive night it is for the 18-year-old. I mean, his resurgence into the team, the way he's just broken through, and now he's one of the untouchables in the team, man, on left back. What an accomplished player. He's strong, he's powerful. And for Arteta, it's perfect because he likes to drift into midfield. So it allows that midfield to be a lot more packed here, with Real Madrid playing only with the two in midfield. Here's Lewis Kelly again. Kiwior. Big night for the Polish international, replacing Gabriel Magalhaes, who picked up that hamstring injury. Well, Arsenal have had 3 grade 3 tears on the hamstring for Havertz, Saka, and now Gabriel Magalhaes. So it's huge letdown for them in terms of those injury departments. They've got Saka back. Kai is going to be missing. Maybe Magalhaes too. Ball into the box there. It's good defending there by Alaba. This is a very good start. Again, it's a heavy touch then. Every time Arsenal take a heavy touch in the midfield area, you know that Real Madrid will be ready to pounce on it. 10 minutes on the clock here. Another counter-attack, which is very well foiled by Arsenal. Here's Alaba to Asensio. Asensio looking to drive forward. Finds Fede Valverde, who's had to adapt, hasn't he? Such a dynamite on that right-hand side of midfield, but since that injury to Dani Carvajal, he's stepped in very well as that right back and just allows that midfield to be a lot more technically sound with the likes of Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Brahim Diaz, Arda Güler, and even Luka Modric. Well, David Alaba looking for a throw in here. Carlo Ancelotti, been there, done that, hasn't he? He's seen this situation. He has been here. Just another Champions League game for him. Just shows you the difference in experience between Ancelotti and Mikel Arteta this evening. Timber looking for options, finds Odegaard. Odegaard squeezes it nicely there. Timber showing great feet. Jurrien Timber, might be a foul there. The referee's okay with it. Timber cannot believe it. Referee says play on. Camavinga with the challenge. The midfield pivot of Real Madrid will have to work tirelessly here. They'll have to cover a lot of the spaces vacated when they bomb on forward. That's a clear foul there by Camavinga. He's got both his arms around Timber. You can see why the Dutchman was not happy with the decision there, right in front of the linesman as well. He cannot believe it. He's showing the same thing. He felt that very much arm around him. Here's Kivior. Now, whether or not Real Madrid will look to target the left-hand side centre half, we'll wait and see. Mbappe might just choose to pick that side instead of William Saliba, who's an awesome centre half and he's been one of the linchpins for Arsenal. He's so quick. I think Mbappe will definitely prefer playing on the shoulder of Kivior. Here's David Raya. Here's Saliba. Keeps it short to Odegaard. Madrid looking to press. Lovely turn there by Lewis Kelly. Beautifully done. Finds Declan Rice, who looks to drive down that left-hand side. Here's Martinelli. One-on-one against Valverde. Martinelli waiting for options. Cut back options. Declan Rice can't get the shot away. Merino. Partey with the shot straight at Courtois. And the follow-up well cushioned by Raul Asensio. Arsenal's bright start once again, nearly paying off in a goal here. This is very good stuff. It's patient around the box, waiting for the right option here. This is good play here by Merino. Just lays it off to Thomas Partey. Doesn't have the power nor the direction there to beat Courtois. Here's Vinicius on the counter-attack here. Real Madrid are playing off the cuff. They're trying to get some shot away. Vinicius Jr. has been cut an isolated figure down that left-hand side. 13 minutes on the clock here. Arsenal having the best chance of the match so far. Thomas Partey getting a deflection there of Camavinga. Well, Arsenal have really approached this game like they should have. They have not been overawed one bit. They're playing with real personality. They got another corner. They came very close with their previous one where Thomas Partey should have scored. Well, he's had two opportunities here. Martinelli driving down that left-hand side. They're asking for whether or not that could have been a penalty, but Asensio's arm was very much tucked in. VAR potential penalty check will be quickly waved away. Ancelotti having a raised eyebrow. Should be cleared. I don't see how this could be construed as a penalty. You can see Asensio's arm is very much tucked in. The way that they're looking at it time and time again, it should just be a complete waste of time. 15th minute here, and it's a really long check. Arteta will be hoping that he gets the rub of the green here. Just over 14 minutes on the clock here. It's been waved off. Common sense prevails, and it's a corner for Arsenal. A corner for Real Madrid. Modric, who's not had the best of games so far. Can he deliver a pinpoint ball here? Got the likes of Rudiger, David Alaba, Raul Asensio, all with presence and size in the box. Big moment here for Arsenal to defend the first real set-piece opportunity. Luka Modric will deliver. Skipper delivers into the box. Raya punches well. Good defending again by Arsenal, just making sure that the big boys for Real Madrid are tightly marked. Here's Valverde. Oh, nearly gets there. Martinelli, a poke forward, and the Brazilian would have been very interested with a bit of green grass to run at. Here's Mbappe. Rodrigo back to Mbappe, back heel to Bellingham, now playing on the right-hand side here. You can see how fluid Jude Bellingham's positioning will be across that front line. Camavinga finds Modric. Modric keeps it short to Asensio. Valverde plays it onto the right-hand side. Still 15 minutes on the clock here. Arteta will be pleased with the way they've going toe-to-toe against the champions here. Here's Camavinga. Modric. Camavinga again. Short, very crisp passing. Back to Rudiger. Look at that. Real Madrid just showing their experience here, taking the sting out of the game completely. They haven't started well whatsoever. No surprises for them. You can see the possession very much in favor of Arsenal. Nearly 70% of the ball. Madrid, of course, reeling from that loss against Valencia at the Santiago Bernabeu. Last-minute winner against them. 3 wins and 5 for them. 3 points behind Barcelona in La Liga. Very much on for the treble here. For Arsenal, you can see what this game potentially means for them. It's all or nothing with the league all but done and slipped out of their hands. Champions League here would be massive for Arsenal and Arteta. Again, the crispness in Real Madrid's build-up play has really been lacking. They've not been able to bypass the lines. They need a bit of creativity in that pockets. Nobody really to link the play. Jude Bellingham is almost playing a free role, so he's not there in those central areas to try and get the ball and receive it on the turn. This is excellent press here from Arsenal. Well bypassed. David Alaba spoons it forward. Again, Arsenal on the front foot, defending very well. Saka can't keep that in play. Rudiger defends. Just have a look as to what's happening in the other quarterfinal. Bayern and Inter Milan. Bayern Munich, of course, injury ravaged. Vincent Kompany finding out that he'll need to trust his bench a lot more for the end of the season. You can see it's nearly 50-50 in terms of possession. 3 shots for Bayern, 2 for Inter. Not too bad. 2 shots on target for the home side, Bayern Munich, who will be hosting the Champions League final. Allianz Arena, of course. That's where Chelsea won their first Champions League in 2012. Against all odds at the home of the finalists Bayern Munich. Here's Camavinga to Alaba. Good pass here. Mbappe trying to link the play. Here's Modric. Oh, he's been dispossessed, but the foul there by Odegaard. Odegaard, of course, signed by Real Madrid in 2014, 2015 season. Never really broke through. He went to Real Madrid's B team, the Castilla. Played a few games there. Went to Sociedad. Had 1 season with Real Madrid, 8 or 9 games, but that was just about it when Arsenal decided that this was Arteta's man, the linchpin, their captain. Oh, Skelly shows great power then. What a pass on the left-hand side. Asensio should be able to mop up, but Luis Skelly, my goodness, he is so powerful. He makes grown men just bounce off him. He's such an imposing figure, man, and he's technically gifted too. Thomas Partey gets dispossessed here. Luka Modric waiting for options. Crunching challenge there by Declan Rice. No time really for Real Madrid's midfielders to settle in. None whatsoever. Arsenal have completely put the clamps here on Real Madrid. Arteta knows that his side have been on top, but you have to capitalize against Real Madrid. Believe me. I've seen Chelsea in the past 4 or 5 years when we had to play Real Madrid back-to-back seasons. Man, they're never really dead until you put that final nail in their coffin, because they do not know the word beat, especially in the Champions League. They're an outstanding unit. They have the experience, they have the heritage, and they have the quality, man. Imagine winning the double and then adding Mbappe to your team. And Mbappe has been outstanding, hasn't he? He started off, from a lot of people's estimates, as a very poor start to the season, but it's been just brilliant since then. 22 goals in La Liga, and then in the Champions League, he's top scorer as well. So it's all fine for Kylian Mbappe and Real Madrid. Here's Courtois, put under pressure on his right foot, tries to find the pass forward. Madrid are playing with the true forwards, but they're playing the long balls, which will be easily eaten up by the Arsenal centre-halves here. This is a good tactic employed by Mikel Arteta. Here's Luis Skelly. Another line breaker, beautifully fed here. Ooh, that might be a foul there on Mikel Merino. Referee is okay with the play to continue. Camavinga with a very good challenge. Can't find the pass to Bellingham. Here's Odegaard. Good interception there by Thomas Partey. Another challenge there by Camavinga. It's another fair one in the estimation of the referee. Here's Rudiger now bursting forward. He's got options on the right. He will go for Rodrigo. Rudiger continues his run. Here's Rodrigo. Mbappe. Vinicius. Vinicius looks to curl that into the corner. He had the option for the overlap on the left-hand side. It did look to avoid that, but again, Real Madrid showing how they can just threaten with a quick attack there. Mbappe quickly feeding Vinicius Jr. Again, he could have passed it on the left-hand side there. David Alaba had made that run completely unmarked. Chance for the cutback very much on. 20 minutes on the clock. Both teams with half chances early on. Here's Saliba. Finds Jurrien Timber. Back to Saliba. Keeps it nice and short. Again, no real signs for panic for Arsenal so far. Say halfway through the first half, they'll be very, very pleased with the way they've gone about their business here. Here's Lewis Kelly. Saliba. Odegaard, he's had a lot of touches. He will be aching to really make an impact. Here's Saka, tries to feed that forward there. Mikel Merino nearly getting at the end of it. Arsenal losing both their centre forwards to long-term injuries. Again, Real Madrid are not able to get out here. This is brilliant from Arsenal, really. The way that they've just caged in Real Madrid. They have no way out. If they play the long ball, Arsenal will easily gobble it up with the size and physicality in their centre half. So Madrid will have to find another solution here. If this carries on, they'll have to just force to play on the break here. I don't see how they try and build out and try and trouble Arsenal nearly halfway through the first half here. Here's Kivior. Had a very nervy start to the half. Since then, he's had pretty much comfortable game. Here's Saliba. Of course, the second leg at Santiago Bernabeu. So Arsenal will know that despite no away goals, they have to try and keep a clean sheet here. They've done very well. They've got 11 clean sheets in the league. And in the Champions League, they've been taking care of business. I mean, 6 wins, 1 draw, 1 defeat. That's an excellent record. The only defeat coming at the hands of Inter Milan at San Siro. So very, very well-organized team. Looks like they're suited to the Champions League well. Here's Thomas Partey. Waiting for options. Just looking at shot. Lewis Kelly again. Very confident start from the youngster. Well, Haaland has produced. Oh, there's a very risky pass there. Vinicius forward. Mbappe is onside. Can he get the shot away? Mbappe! Oh my goodness. Well, Arsenal nearly masters of their own downfall there. Vinicius doing very well to pinch it and then find Mbappe forward. Well, Arsenal under no pressure. You cannot give the ball there. Clever pass. I think Mbappe would have been just offside, but it was a devilish hit there. Arsenal cannot be doing that, man. Not in front of Mbappe. Not the form that he's in. Whew. It's such a loose pass. No pressure. Gets a really good connection on it despite being off balance. So just shows you his ball striking abilities. And Jurrien Timber just holding his side of the shin by the looks of it. Might be his ankle. It's a painful one and something that Arsenal cannot afford to have. There's another injury here. Redi Calafiori, I think he's okay to be on the bench, but he's not been reliable throughout the season. He's had a quick chat here. I don't think Timber just holding his knee now. It's like a multifold injury, but he's back on his feet quickly now. He'll test his left leg as much as possible, as quickly as possible here. Camavinga having a word with Ancelotti. They have not controlled the midfield whatsoever here, Arsenal. Real Madrid, rather. With Tchouaméni not featuring here and Fede Valverde playing on the right. So those midfield options for Real Madrid isn't too much. Now, whether or not they'll be brave enough to maybe put Jude Bellingham in midfield and maybe Arda Güler as a number 10, might work for Real Madrid because they don't have a link player here. Bellingham on that left-hand side. Madrid playing with the two up top. Vini and Mbappe have gotten chances, but with all the possession that Real Madrid have conceded or lost to Arsenal, they've had 3 shots, just the one on target. That's the one in the first minute. Mbappe has had a couple of sighters already. Timber struggling on the sideline, but looks like he will be okay to carry on here. Here's Lewis Kelly. Confident start again, getting plenty of touches here, the youngster. Thomas Partey. Heavy touch, but feeds it onto the right-hand side to Saka, trying to isolate David Alaba. Here's Saka, trying to float it on his left, decides against it. Here's Saka with a clip pass. Well defended there by Camavinga, and Courtois falls on it. Just over 25 minutes played here, 0-0 the scoreline. Fully expected this game to be very cagey, despite Real Madrid's struggles recently. That's a good pick out there by Courtois. Finds Mbappe. He's allowed to carry the ball a long way here. Clever pass forward. Mbappe trying to battle. And it's Saliba who wins the duel there. And Rodrigo has pinched the pocket of Lewis Kelly. Here's Mbappe. Again, look at the number of bodies swarming him there. Camavinga does well, but he's lost his balance, but keeps the ball brilliantly there, the Frenchman. Here's Modric. Needs to get in those pockets a lot more for Real Madrid here. Rodrigo. Camavinga. Keeps it short. Bellingham a lot more central now. Rudiger finds David Alaba. Sustained period of possession really for the second or third time in this match for Real Madrid. They'll try to do that a lot more here as Rudiger clips the ball nicely. Finds Fede Valverde on the right-hand side. Rodrigo comes short, receives, finds Modric. Arsenal coming into this game on the back of very good form, really. The draw against Everton, just the anomaly in their last 5 as they, on the previous 4, they come into this as very good form considering the last loss was against West Ham, 22nd of February, if I'm not mistaken. Odegaard has been picking up the ball in those dangerous areas, but not sure whether that right-hand side really suits him with Saka. I can see what Arteta is trying to do. They're trying to get his 2 best players to link up as much as possible, but Odegaard has had an underwhelming season, to say the very least. Here's Declan Rice. He's had a very good season. New role for him. Brought into the club as a number 6, but Arteta playing him as that left-sided number 8 for most of the season, using his ball-carrying abilities and also his ability to win the ball higher up the pitch. Here's Saliba. Merino. He's done well, hasn't he, as a centre-forward? Not bad as a makeshift centre-forward. Here's Saka. Looking at Merino just makes me look at Nkunku for Chelsea, having to play that out-of-position false 9 role, and the difference the two players really do make. Oh, it's another cracking challenge by Camavinga. He's had to make them, a lot of them, but they cannot keep the ball again. Excellent first half this from Arsenal. They've really caged Real Madrid, but they have to watch out for the mistakes at the back, especially in those defensive third. Here's Saliba, very confident here. Both centre-halves in Real Madrid's half here. You can see they're playing as a back 3 in possession. Timber as the right-sided centre-half, Saliba in the centre, and Kivior as the left-sided, and Lewis Kelly dropping in that midfield pivot alongside Thomas Partey, which allows Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard to be a lot more forward-thinking. Clever pass. Here's Lewis Kelly. Tries to find Bukayo Saka. Not on the same wavelength as his Haaland boy. Lewis Kelly has had so many touches already. I think 30 minutes on the clock. He's been very, very influential early on. He's not been afraid to pick up the ball anywhere in those midfield areas. He always looks to drive forward or play that early pass forward. So I really like what I'm seeing from him so far. 0-0, the scoreline at the Alliance Arena 2. The first legs are going to be cagey, aren't they? Because there is no away goal. So almost they just try to take the first leg away as much as possible. Almost just make it a straight shootout in the second leg. But from Real Madrid's point of view, they were so good in the playoffs against against Manchester City, where they won 3-2 at the Etihad Stadium. Mbappe, Diaz, and Jude Bellingham scoring in the 92nd minute. And then Mbappe's hat-trick at the Bernabeu was just a real clinic to put away Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. Vinicius with a poor ball. Again, Madrid have really not settled in that midfield area. Bellingham wins it nicely here. Tries to wriggle away from the challenge. Does very well. And picks the pass here. Mbappe is through, but he's on the left-hand side. It's Kylian Mbappe straight at Raya. Just over 30 minutes on the clock there. And Real Madrid have the clearest opportunity in the first half. And it fell to the right person as well. Jude Bellingham did so well to pinch the ball and then ride the challenge. On the left-hand side, here's Martinelli. Trying to twist and tease, clips that ball in, and it's well defended by Rudiger, and Courtois will claim. Massive moment in this game, and he just thought that Mbappe was just going to whip that into the far post, but he doesn't get any whip on it, and it was straight at Raya. Here's Valverde bursting from the central area. It's a huge slip there from Saliba. Oh, it's an absolute mess at the back here. Here's Mbappe. Thought about the shot. Mbappe again. Keeps it short here on the right-hand side to Rodrigo. Arsenal on the ropes here. It's a block by Lewis Kelly. It's a corner. Arsenal again really slipping all over the place. Mbappe has had real sighters. Brilliant footwork there from Bellingham. Quickly picks up the pass. Mbappe has got the pace to stay on side. And now you just expect him to just open his body. But he goes for his trademark near post finish. Doesn't have the whip on it, and it's straight at Raya. Huge sigh of relief there for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. So dangerous, man, Real Madrid. They have not played well in the first half, but they've had the best chances. Just shows you cannot rest. And when you're on top against Real Madrid, you have to take your chances. You have to try and showcase or have something to show for your early quote-unquote dominance here. Corner comes in. Poor. The quality of corners has been terrible in this first half. Nobody really beating the first to second man here. It's been a really good game of football. Fully expected it. Both teams very much capable. They like to play on the counter-attack. Arsenal have been forceful. They've pushed Real Madrid back. But Real Madrid, with just over 30 minutes played, 32 and a half minutes on the clock here, they've done very well. Modric feeds it onto the right-hand side. Rodrigo does well. Clever back heel. Jude Bellingham, excellent again. His balance is exquisite. Here's Mbappe now. Plenty of Arsenal bodies back. Here's Vinicius. Alaba again on the overlap. The clip pass is well defended. Mbappe looking to gather. Does so well there. Mbappe, brilliant. Brilliant feet again. Mbappe is very much in the mood there. It's a foul. And it's Mbappe's foul on Mikel Merino. I think Vinicius has ignored Alaba on a couple of occasions here. Great footwork there from Mbappe, man. He's so electric in those areas. The way he just has that quick twitch and the way he just moves around. Special player there, just commits the foul. Mikel Merino was defending on the edge of his box, so it's brilliant from him. Here's Odegaard. On the right-hand side, finds Bukayo Saka. Saka hasn't really gone at David Alaba too much. Keeps it short again. Here's Saka. Odegaard, very tight in those areas. They're not able to manufacture a bit of room, but they've done very well to keep the ball. Again, trying to just pinch that. They're so switched on, the Real Madrid forwards, in terms of trying to win the ball back as quickly as possible. Here's Kivior. Declan Rice. Good strong challenge there by Fede Valverde, coming flying in there. Martinelli has not really gotten a move on. He's very quick in those bursts and those short bursts, but he's not really able to create too much separation on the quality with his crosses. Lewis Kelly hugging the touchline with this throw in here. And Mikel Merino has not had too much to do in a number 9 sense here. Declan Rice trying to whip the ball. It's well blocked. Here's Martinelli. He's in a cul-de-sac here, trying to get after a very tight corner. Does very well, but he's lost out. Excellent work from Rodrigo helping out defensively. Modric shows good composure. Valverde goes for the big switch here and finds Vinicius. What a ball that is. Vinicius keeps his balance and he gets the foul. It's a delayed foul. You can see it's very clever there by the Brazilian. Just waits for the contact, but the pass there from Fede Valverde to Vini was excellent. Yeah, it's a clear foul, but Vini's reaction is very delayed. That's the pass that really won't find anyone. Camavinga mops up. And you can see the possession, 56% for Arsenal, 44% for Real Madrid. It's an even game, man, considering the chances and the balance of play. Arsenal have kept the ball, but haven't really troubled Courtois from open play. Real Madrid's box defending, excellent. Here's Alaba. He's looked comfortable against Saka, hasn't he? He's so experienced, David Alaba. Winning Champions Leagues with Bayern Munich and Real Madrid. Captain of Austria. What a career he's had, man. Brilliant. Modric. Speaking of brilliant careers, might get an extension from Real Madrid, but at his age, knowing how ruthless Real Madrid are, I'd be very, very surprised if they don't reinforce in the midfield area. That's a very good switch there by Rudiger, but well intercepted by Lewis Kelly. Reading the position nicely. Martinelli with a heavy touch, but look how deep the Arsenal forwards are. Merino's in his own box. Martinelli's in his own half here. Declan Rice, clip pass, tries to find Odegaard, chests it down nicely. Odegaard, Jude Bellingham for company, gives it to Saka. Saka up against his English teammate. Very strong play there. Saka with the ball across the face of goal. It just needed a predatory touch from Declan Rice to maybe gamble there. Brilliant play there by Saka. Again, for all the good play that Arsenal have done, they've not really manufactured those shots there. Just needed a touch. Bukayo Saka outstanding in that 1v1 against Bellingham. Here's Declan Rice. Thomas Partey. Arsenal very compact in that midfield area. You can see the likes of Timber, even Kivior playing centrally, so that midfield is almost like a rectangle 6, if you know what I mean. The two centre halves, the two pivots, and the two number 8s. Nice play there. Again, Valverde is so strong in the challenge. Really like his desire and quality, man. So versatile, showing that he can not just play in midfield, plays right wing, plays right back. Really is a Swiss Army knife for any manager to have. Here's Rudiger. 7 minutes plus stoppage time remain here in this first half. I think Ancelotti will be very pleased, man, because they know that they could have played a whole lot better, but they still kept Arsenal at arm's length here. Here's Mbappe dropping very deep again, looking to get involved in the build-up, knowing that that link player as that number 10 is missing. Mbappe, all action so far. Here's Bellingham. On the left-hand side to David Alaba. Bellingham again. Switches on to the right-hand side. Camavinga might pass it. Decides to keep it short. Arsenal back into their deep block here. Good defensive shape here from Arteta and Arsenal. Bellingham. On the left-hand side is Alaba. Keeps it short again. Nicely played. Here's Vinicius. Vinicius again. Asensio feeds it to Luka Modric. On the right-hand side is Rodrigo. Modric again. Swarming nicely again. Arsenal shuffling from side to side. Here's Camavinga. Time and space for the Frenchman. It's a very, very risky tactic here from Arsenal to try and not press either Modric or Camavinga in those deeper areas, but forcing Arsenal all the way back here. Good play again from Arsenal's forwards. Long punt forward. Bellingham loses out to Timber. Merino with a nice cushion down. Here's Saka. Again, he's looking to isolate Alaba. Camavinga is there to try and double up. Odegaard, clever. What a pass. Bukayo Saka cuts it again. Well, he could have gone for goal. He's unselfish in trying to go for the cutback. Could he have just lashed it with his right foot? Very clever pass this from Odegaard. It's weighted to perfection. You just thought the shot was coming. Very good block. 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain in the first half. Arsenal getting closer and closer despite not getting shots at Courtois' goal here. No surprises. It's Saka creating all sorts of havoc. Odegaard, what a pass that was from him. Again in tight areas, Arsenal tried to play. Mbappe, oh, that's a foul there, surely. Jakub Kivior trying to follow the French superstar all the way back there. That's a bit of a loose foul. Brilliant from Saka, man. The way that he just roasts his fullback or his side, and he's visibly upset with that. I mean, and why not? He's asking the question, where's the run? Where is that run? Somebody's got to make the far post run. Where's Martinelli? Where's Mikel Merino? 4 minutes plus stoppage time remain in this first half. Poor pass again. Real Madrid still 0-0 here at the Emirates. For them, this is a result that they wouldn't mind whatsoever early on, knowing that the second leg is at home at Santiago Bernabeu. So for Arsenal, they have to try and capitalize and try and make that impact going forward. Here's Partey. Tries to keep it short. Here's Jurrien Timber. Finds Odegaard. Nice crisp short passing going all the way back. Madrid getting into their shape again. Very much 4-4-2 here from Real Madrid. Carlo Ancelotti going with the tactics of old. Here's Saliba. I'd be very curious to see whether or not he shifts it in the second half. Maybe get Vinicius on the left-hand side. Mbappe as a centre and almost play with a 3 in midfield here. Good play again by Alaba. Finds Vinicius. Thomas Partey up against Vinicius Jr. Vinicius has the pace, but Partey with the tackle. Good work from the Ghanaian, tracking the Brazilian all the way. He's not had a very good first half, has he, Vinicius Jr.? Trying to make things happen. He's that kind of a player. He never really stops going at the fullback. He just needs a moment. He is ruthless in the box. That's something that Arsenal will have to be very, very careful about. Here's Saliba. Jurrien Timber, good to see him continuing the first half from an Arsenal perspective. Here's Saka. Timber again. Arsenal looking for a goal just before half-time here. Really raised the roof at the Emirates. 2 minutes plus stoppage time left in this first half. They have more than just competed against the defending champions. Skelly on the left-hand side trying to combine with Rice. Saliba. Madrid again in their shape. Very, very deep here. Arsenal needs someone to try and pick the lock here. Anyone to try and scoop a pass. They don't have the pace in the central areas. It's going to be Saka who's going to have to, or Martinelli down both sides, who's going to have to make those runs. Here's Saka again isolating Alaba. Scott Bellingham helping him out. Partey, Lewis Kelly, heavy touch, well defended, trying to get it away. Arsenal still win the ball very well. Tight areas, they've kept the ball magnificently. It's a decent cross. Oh, what a save that is from Courtois. Brilliant. Thibaut Courtois with an unbelievable double save there. Arsenal getting there, nearly moments there. The header from Merino nearly found the corner. Courtois is an absolute giant in goal, isn't he? The double save, how quickly he was up to make the save of Martinelli. Here's Partey. 30 seconds plus stoppage time remain in this first half here. Arsenal coming the closest on a couple of occasions here to open the scoring. Here's Saka. Tipping the ball again towards the far stake. The header will not be... It's well ushered, but what a save this was from Thibaut Courtois. It's patient, clever clip here. And the header, it was from Declan Rice. It wasn't from Merino. Wasn't really in the corner, but brilliant from Courtois. He pushed it right into the path of Martinelli, but how quickly he's back into position and he makes the double save. Huge moment in the match there. Arsenal getting closer and closer. Arteta knows that his team have been on top, but they haven't been able to capitalize. 0-0 the scoreline, ideal for Carlo Ancelotti, but he won't be too pleased, and I won't be surprised if he makes a tweak in the second half. 2 minutes of stoppage time has been added on. Clever from Timber. Brilliant, man. What a pass that is from Odegaard, but can't find his forward run of Gabriel Martinelli. Well, Thibaut Courtois, I know everything about him. Spent 3 glorious years with us. 2 league titles. I was very upset when he went to Real Madrid, but you can't really knock him for it. He had 1 year on his contract remaining. Chelsea got, 40 million euros for him? But man, since then we have struggled. Struggled is an understatement. We have been horrible in the goalkeeping department. Here's Mbappe. Modric finds Rudiger. Well, it would be typical Real Madrid to score now, wouldn't they? Having absorbed all the pressure. 30 seconds remain. Clever from Camavinga on the right-hand side. Here's Valverde. Leaves it to Camavinga. Camavinga with the strike there. It was never really going to trouble David Raya from there. Camavinga has made a lot of challenges and he's been all action in that midfield area, but that shot never really anywhere near the Arsenal goal. Well, that should be that. And what a first half it's been at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal controlling possession and towards the end of the half, creating the best real opportunities. No surprises that Bukayo Saka was the focal point of everything good that Arsenal did going forward. Thibaut Courtois, a massive reason as to why the score remains 0-0. Well, for all the troubles that Real Madrid have had, Kylian Mbappe has had 2 good sighters of goal. His second one, I think in the 30th minute, they had an opportunity to whip it towards the far stick. Was the only real save that David Raya has had to make of note. But it's 0-0 at halftime at the Emirates, and it's a massive... Oh, wow. Inter Milan are 1-0 up in the first leg here. Halftime at the Allianz Arena. Lautaro Martinez scoring in the 38th minute, assisted by Marcus Thuram. So, big result there for Inter Milan in the 45 minutes here. 0-0 the scoreline, and it's been a highly enjoyable game of football, man. It's been excellent to watch. Real Madrid, for all their frailties and inability to keep the ball in those midfield areas, are so dangerous when they pinch the ball. Arsenal making a couple of mistakes in those defensive areas, but Madrid haven't made them pay. Well, 0-0 at the Emirates Stadium. It's been excellent. Let's have a look at the stats. And stats are often misleading, but 55% of the ball for Arsenal, 5 shots to Madrid 6, 4 on target for Arsenal, 2 for Madrid, 2 big chances for Arsenal. It shows none for Madrid, but the Mbappe one was a big opportunity. Really could have scored. And what about the Inter and Bayern Munich game? Again, very little to separate them in terms of possession and shots. Bayern have had 4 shots on target, 2 big chances missed. And like I said before, big chances missed is it's become subjective, isn't it? It's not an objective thing. They've hit the woodwork once, 6 shots inside the box. So very much a typical Simone Inzaghi performance at the Allianz Arena. 1-0 there, and with that drop points that Napoli had, was that against Brescia? I'm not sure. But Inter Milan are now top of Serie A, and they've played a final in the last couple of years in the Champions League. So will this be the season where everybody expecting maybe, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, maybe one of the teams? But Inter Milan is not a team that anybody would really like to face. Ask Arsenal, they really struggle to break them down at San Siro. It was their only defeat in the Champions League. I think the second half really has all the ingredients for the game to really explode. Seen Arsenal, they're not going to stop. They know that they have to score here. They can't go nil-nil at Santiago Bernabeu. It's going to be a very, I mean, I won't say damaging draw, but they cannot afford to really drop points. I mean, they cannot afford to go nil-nil at halftime in the leg. I mean, they have to try and get a goal, and Madrid will realize that they are such clever operators that just invite Arsenal to keep coming and hit them on the break as quickly as possible. They break with real pace, and I'm very, very curious to see whether or not Arteta. Well, I don't see Arteta making any changes, but I do see that maybe not in terms of personnel, but the way that Madrid are set up in the second half. I'd be very surprised if Madrid do come out in the same way here in the second half. Let's have a look as to what Twitter has to say. Always one of my favorite things to do. Whoa. Wait a minute. I know this isn't football related, but I really started following basketball for the longest time. I mean, I would say for the next 4 or 5 years. And Denver Nuggets have fired coach Michael Malone and have gotten rid of someone in their back office too. I mean, lead assistant David Adelman is going to be the interim head coach. What is going on in the NBA? I think the Timberwolves sacked their coach just before the playoffs, and now Coach Malone. What's happened here? Really, what has happened here? Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Nuggets are fourth seed, and Jokic has been playing brilliant basketball. I mean, why would you make this change? I'm so interested. The NBA is really crazy, man. If you think the Premier League and football has got crazy plot twists and stuff, I mean, I implore people, I mean, even if you don't watch basketball, to just keep an eye on what happens in the world of basketball. It is absolutely mental. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. I try to see what's happening in the world of football, and what I see is Denver Nuggets. If you know, sacked their general manager, they sacked their coach. What's happening there? Oh man, the Inter Milan goal is a thing of beauty, man. That's how two centre forwards combine. And Lautaro's finish, wow, outside of his right boot. Whoa, brilliant. On the left hand side, it cut back. Thuram with the nice layoff and ruthless finish by Lautaro Martinez. Brilliant. Well, Real Madrid have just kept Arsenal waiting a little bit for the start of the second half. We'll see and update you whether or not they've made any changes. And second half, I'd be very surprised if there's any personnel changes for both teams start of the second half. But the shape of Real Madrid will really intrigue me because I don't think Ancelotti will persist with the same thing. We might just see more traditional 4-3-3 with Jude Bellingham getting a lot more deeper into midfield. We'll see whether or not that continues, but that'll be very, very interesting to see. And we're on set for the start of the second half. And it's Arsenal kicking off from right to left. Positive start in the first half, but Real Madrid making some good chances off their own. Kylian Mbappe with two of the best opportunities that Madrid had in that first half. And as for Arsenal, the Declan Rice header, which was brilliantly saved by Courtois, the double save really, and those couple of balls that was flashed across goal by Bukayo Saka, showing that Arsenal are very much capable of threatening and creating against the defending champions. They have very identical records in the league. Both are second, which is a clever pass there by Martinelli. Here's Declan Rice, positive from Arsenal, clip ball in, the header not really able to cushion that Merino. Again, Arsenal on the front foot immediately here. Surely would have been the words by Mikel Arteta ringing in the ears of the Arsenal players. What is Real Madrid's approach here in a minute into the second half here? Like I said, don't see any changes, but whether or not, we'll just have a look at their midfield as to what they do have in their reserve. Know that Ceballos isn't fit, or is he on the bench? We'll just have a look. Dani Ceballos against Arsenal. We're talking about subplots and Odegaard against Real Madrid, but Ceballos against Arsenal could have been a very, very interesting battle too, because he's been very important in that midfield area for them. And we're just looking at the midfield options. They've got only Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz, and Endrick, I would say, that are okay to bring on. And you can see Gabriel Magalhaes with those crutches, the worst sight you want to see it any of your players, regardless of position. He'll be getting the summer off, that's for sure. Arsenal will be hoping that he's back. Well, if they do make a deep run in the Champions League, we'll be hoping that he's ready for the final. But I think from the diagnosis, it just looks like his season is done here. Here's Saliba. He had a brilliant first half, the way he matched Mbappe. Other than the mistakes that Arsenal made, it had taken something very, very special to try and open them up. But because that midfield control isn't there, you can see Madrid are still playing very much the 4-4-2 here. Bellingham on the left, Rodrigo on the right. Two midfield players of Camavinga and Modric, and the two forward players of Mbappe and Vini. Kivior has had not too much to do. 3 minutes into the second half here, Arsenal dominating the ball early on. Again, something that Madrid won't really mind whatsoever. Two centre forwards trying to play as close as possible. Here's Jurrien Timber. And looking for options. Madrid making sure that they shuffle across. Don't allow Arsenal to progress the ball. Here's Rice. Lewis Kelly. Thomas Partey. Clever line breaker to Merino. Wraps the pass to Gabriel Martinelli down the left-hand side. Rodrigo helping out defensively. Martinelli not able to get the cross across. That should be out for a goal kick. Well, for Arsenal, see about their options on the bench. I know that Sterling isn't there. They've got Trossard, Jorginho, Wanyeri, Zinchenko, Tierney, and Ben White. Ben White might be able to come on as a right-back option. I'll be very interested to see whether or not he trusts Ethan Wanyeri to play in the second half here. Good header. Oh, that's a clever touch. First time again. Lewis Kelly. Goodness me, how strong are you? Mikel Merino bullied off the ball. Good play there from Modric. Rolling back the ears. Feeds it onto the right-hand side. Valverde has a bit of grass to run at here. Decides to keep it short. Rodrigo's been dropping very deep. He's playing like a traditional wide winger instead of an inside forward that he likes to operate at. Here's Modric, waiting for options. Mbappe. Camavinga. He's one of my favorite players, man. Eduardo Camavinga. Every time I watch him play, he is so special. I mean, technically secure. He is multifaceted. Play anywhere across the pitch. Nice. Again, this is better from Real Madrid. 5 minutes into the second half. First real spell of possession for them. Rudiger, clever. Bellingham, brilliant. Mbappe thought about the shot. Mbappe from a very tight angle. Real Madrid switch it on just like that. Brilliant. So quickly, man, they move the ball. Bellingham is getting into more of those central areas, and that'll be something that they'll have to try and contend with. Oh, it's almost leaving it short. It's so much of a pressure ball here. Having to somehow manage to squeeze that out. Does well. Looking to burst forward here. Here's Saliba. On the left-hand side, Lewis Kelly. Leads it nicely to Martinelli. Keeps it short. Lewis Kelly again. Thomas Partey. Feeds it on to the right-hand side. Here's Saka. Up against Alaba. Timber. This is good from Arsenal. Very good. Very patient. Defending well. Clever. Odegaard. Good defending again. Camavinga. Brilliant. Outstanding. Doesn't just win the tackle, but the pass that he makes there is just outstanding, man. So good. And just like that, Real Madrid on the counter-attack. Here's Vinicius Jr. Fed forward by Bellingham. Vinny. Mbappe. Oh, Mbappe with some clever feet. Here's Rodrigo. Modric. Outside of the boot pass to David Alaba. Rudiger. Now it's Real Madrid's time to camp inside the Arsenal half. Here's Asensio. Modric playing as the deepest player for Real Madrid, acting as a quarterback here. Clip pass. Immaculate to Rodrigo Goes. Modric. Which was very good from Arsenal. Them in their deep block. We need something special from a Real Madrid point of view here to try and break them down. You can see Mbappe's willingness to drop in those pockets. It just might allow Jude Bellingham to make those runs beyond the centre forwards. I think Bellingham will be trusted to play a lot more central when they do have the ball, and when they don't, he'll be acting as that left winger. Here's Camavinga. He's been all action here. Feeds it to Vinny. Might be a foul. Ref waves play on. Vinny with a clever bit of footwork there. Might be offside. Alaba with a clip pass, and it's well held there by David Raya. Camavinga is on the deck. Might have felt that a forearm across his face. The yellow card has been brandished to Thomas Partey, and it's a very, very late call. Whether or not it's for the same challenge, we'll wait and see. Oh, clear foul there by Thomas Partey right in front of the ref. It's a needless body check, and it's a unnecessary yellow card for the Ghanaian international. Now, why on earth would you make that foul? You can only shake your head. And now for Arsenal, when they do defend those transitions, it's going to be very, very dangerous, and Partey cannot make those last-ditch lunges or any sort of tackles now. 10 minutes into the second half, and the game is really starting to simmer here. Both teams have had chances in the first half. No real capitalization from either, but chances like that just means that this game has all the ingredients to really explode into life in the final 30 minutes. Here's Kivior. Timber. Waiting for options. Good shape from Real Madrid off the ball. Kivior again. Here's Saliba. Saliba looking to turn. No real options presented for him. Nice shift onto the right-hand side. Looking for that quick twitch there. Looking for any sort of movement going forward. Fed nicely. Kivior. Declan Rice with a quick scan. Looking to burst into those half spaces. Clever. Declan Rice. What a challenge that is from Raul Asensio. Reads it perfectly there. Declan Rice stealing in there. It's a good give and go there from the Arsenal players. Asensio sensing the situation that as soon as Declan Rice might get there first, he'll just look to hit that first time, but excellent defending from Raul Asensio. Last touch did come off the Spanish defender, so didn't go for a corner. Just to throw in Lewis Kelly. Very, very impressive for Arsenal in that first half. He's 18 years old, man. Just think about it. Where you were at 18 years, wasn't what, 10th grade? 12th grade, rather? Waiting for board exams, and Lewis Kelly, he's playing against Real Madrid, man. Brilliant. Here's Timber. Feeds it onto the right-hand side. Saka up against Alaba. Saka, brilliant again, just breezes past him. So dynamic in his running there. Surely a foul, and it's such a poor foul again. I cannot understand the kind of fouls that they're giving here, some of the players. David Alaba did well to just shepherd him into the central areas. You've done your job, now let him go. Commits the foul. It's in the edge of the box here. Odegaard will be very much tempted to try and pull from distance. It's a very, very poor foul to give. Free kick here for Arsenal. They have to try and beat that giant in goal, man. Courtois. It's going to take something outrageous to try and beat him from here. Declan Rice, a right-footed option. Saka and Odegaard, the left-footers. Nicholas Jova, the set-piece coach, takes centre stage. Into the 58th minute. Some way out here. This might just be Declan Rice territory on that right foot to try and curl that into the top corner. Might just be Rice against Courtois here. Saka offering that left-footed option and maybe tried to go lower. It's Rice. Oh, it's brilliant. It's Declan Rice with the free kick. Unbelievable strike. Declan Rice beats Courtois from that distance. It's a stunning goal, and what a way for Arsenal to open the scoring in the first leg of the quarterfinals here at the Emirates Stadium. You can't say they don't deserve it. They've threatened Real Madrid all evening, and it's an unlikely goal scorer considering the manner of the goal, but what whip. Whether or not someone has jumped here, we'll wait and see, but Rice, who's got 2 goals in the Champions League, has just got his 3rd. Oh, it's outstanding, man. He's whipped that around the wall. It's special, absolutely special from Declan Rice. Look at that, where it starts and where it finishes. Sometimes you just have to take your hat off, man. It's special. It's an absolute blockbuster from Declan Rice, and Arsenal have the lead here. Courtois, he knows that there's nothing really you can do. He's gone around the wall. Special goal, special player. Declan Rice has just given Arsenal the lead here. Well, now Madrid have to come out and play. They've been very, very passive in this match. They almost preyed and pounced on Arsenal's mistakes rather than try and create some of their own, but now they have to play. What a goal, man. What a finish from Declan Rice. Well, the Emirates is absolutely bouncing now, and rightfully so. They've got a goal that just blew the roof off. One of the perfect free kicks that you'll see from Declan Rice. Here's Rodrigo. He's been very quiet in this match. Almost been a utility player on that right-hand side, trying to just keep it short and trying to give as much service as possible to the likes of Mbappe and Vini. Here's Vini on the left-hand side now. Real Madrid immediately looking for a response, and they win the corner. Well, half an hour remain here. Arsenal doing very well to have this slender advantage. Really was a special goal, wasn't it? You can see Nicolas Jover just instructing to Declan Rice just before that free kick was taken to try and hit that with the whip. And boy, did he do that. Brilliant goal. Corner here for Real Madrid. Modric takes it. Oh, there's the Bellingham with the scorpion attempt. It's on target, but straight at David Raya. Here's Mikel Merino. Feeds that forward. It's a decent pass, asking a lot from Martinelli, and Asensio, well, Valverde rather, mops up. Strong play again. They're forcing them to go long, and every time they go long, Real Madrid look very confused. They're not able to cope with Arsenal's physicality. They really have swamped that midfield area, and full credit to them. You can see that last 15 minutes in the second half, they've given nothing away to Real Madrid, and that's exactly what Arteta and Arsenal would have wanted in the second half. Here's Odegaard. Arsenal hungry for the second here. Saka. Waiting for options. Good challenge there by Bellingham. They lost his balance there, Saka. And now Real Madrid looking for the break here quickly on the left-hand side. Vini playing, trying to isolate that. It's such a terrible pass. Easily intercepted by Saliba. Here's Merino. What do Arsenal do here? Would they stick or would they twist? Can they be a little bit more adventurous? Try and go for that second goal. They're well on top here. Odegaard has found his pocket of space. Feeds it to Saka up against Alaba. Here Saka goes around the outside. Good defending. Another corner here for Arsenal. Arsenal looking to make their advantage count here. And look at the Emirates, man. To be at the Emirates now would be a special feeling. They're in the Champions League. They're mixing it amongst the big boys. And they're up against the club to beat in this competition. They've played very well. And they've got the goal now. They're looking to protect this. Arsenal in their trademark shape of 3 or 4 players almost outside that 6-yard box on that left-hand side, and then that make that run from out to in almost in a circular fashion. Whipped in into the box by Saka. Courtois comes and he claims. Brilliant goalkeeping from the Belgian. He is so adept at those high claims. You can see Saka just trying to drop that right in that danger area. Real Madrid struggling to build out here. Here's Camavinga down the right-hand side. He's been excellent. For me, he's been Madrid's man of the match. See the likes of Mbappe, Vini almost playing in moments. Camavinga has shown the most composure for Real Madrid. Now the switch is on. Beautifully passed there. Wonderfully taken down on the chest there from Vinicius. On the left-hand side, Alaba. Back to Vinicius. Mbappe is not really picking on either centre-back rather. He's almost playing as a false 9. Waiting to try and link up. That's a decent pass. Here's Rodrigo. Ancelotti won't find any time to panic here. He's seen worse. Here's Rudiger. Shifts it forward. Arsenal excellent in their defensive block here. Look at that. They've given absolutely no space. They're forcing Madrid to go with that long and scoopy passes. Here's Rudiger. Excellent work. Here's Modric again as a quarterback. Oh, nearly giving that away. They've done well to keep the ball in those tight areas. Down the left-hand side. Trying to increase the tempo here. Arsenal defending well. Here's Vinicius. Vinicius driving into the box, trying to lay that off. Declan Rice, the goal scorer, blocks it very well. He's been all action here. Declan Rice, as it stands, is the match winner for Arsenal. There's still a long way to go, but that was some goal to open the scoring. It's a free kick that I'm sure every Arsenal fan will be watching time and time again on loop on all the socials I'm sure. It's a brilliant goal. Here's Rodrigo. Valverde trying to find the pockets. Arsenal again, very, very compact. Rodrigo again feeds it to Valverde. Here's Modric. Again, these areas, Arsenal do not mind Real Madrid having the ball here. Bellingham with a clever scoop there. Good starting position there from David Raya. Quickly off his line. Exactly what I mentioned there. Real Madrid are forced to play those balls over the top. There's really no space between the lines. The work off the ball that the Arsenal players are putting in is really special, but they need a huge effort in the final 25 plus stoppage time if they are to try and keep the scoreline intact or try and add to this, because Real Madrid, all they need is a moment here. Here's Lewis Kelly. It's been very, very impressive. Arsenal's midfield, Lewis Kelly, Thomas Partey and Declan Rice has been excellent. What a pass that is. Declan Rice nearly getting there forward. Well, the three in midfield combining to nearly perfection there. Foul there by Lewis Kelly. It was Lewis Kelly to Thomas Partey, and that first time pass to Rice was excellent. Kiwior steals the ball of Mbappe with ease there. Arsenal well on top here. Timber on the right-hand side. Here's Bukayo Saka. What a welcome sight he's been for all Arsenal fans. Almost looked as the savior here. Please come save us towards the end of the season. We need big performances from you. He's been very good. Doesn't look like he's missed much of a beat. Here's Saliba. Kiwior. Declan Rice. Arsenal very confident. Martinelli up against Valverde. Rodrigo is helping out defensively. Here's Lewis Kelly, edge of the box. They can't really give space to Arsenal to try and shoot from the edge of the box here. Declan Rice looking for the quick 1-2. Good feet again. Lewis Kelly, how strong are you? It's brilliant. Martinelli, what a save again on the follow-up. Oh, it's off the line. And to make it through, oh my word. It is phenomenal from Thibaut Courtois. Absolutely brilliant. How are Arsenal not 2-0 here? Brilliant first save. Unbelievable block. It's Merino again. Wow. Thibaut Courtois, you have just pretty much kept their side in this tie. Unbelievable goal line clearance from David Alaba. And look how quickly Courtois is back on his feet. The ball sits up nicely. Straight at him. It's a powerful paw that he gets to it. Arsenal coming the closest here to the second here. Corner kick by Saka. Courtois comes. Courtois punches. Declan Rice again. Oh, it's again cleared off the line by Bellingham. Well, they're putting Real Madrid under all sorts of pressure here. Odegaard. Saka. What a second half this has been from Arsenal, man. Brilliant. Saka again. Unbelievable. Surely a foul. Has to play advantage. But the foul has been taken away. Bellingham struggling to keep hold of Saka. Saka feeling his shin there. That will be a very painful one. Oh, it is from Camavinga. Just leans over. It's a nasty one. But whoa, Arsenal coming so close to adding the second. Bellingham off the line. Courtois was beaten, man. Alaba and Jude Bellingham, number 4 and number 5, clearing off the line. Arsenal are coming closer and closer to that second goal. They have Real Madrid on the ropes here. Outstanding performance. But the game's still open. Still very much open. And this is where Real Madrid thrive. Free kick for Arsenal now. Dangerous territory. Will it be Rice or will it be Odegaard? It's got to be Rice again, surely. Not the angle for him, but the way he's got that ability to whip and the confidence coursing through his veins. Why not? Courtois has been beaten once, but my goodness me, he's made some tremendous double saves. A couple of them saved off the line. I mean, Arsenal have done more than enough to have a cushion going into the second leg here. Real Madrid completely anonymous in the second half. Massive 20 minutes coming up for them. But if Arsenal score another one here, it'll be incredible scenes. The roof just waiting to be lifted off again. It's Rice again. Oh my goodness, it's even better. Declan Rice right into the postage stamp. And 20 minutes left in the first leg, and it's Arsenal 2-0 to the good. Declan Rice with two unbelievable free kicks. Well, the first one was special. The second one is even better. Wow, just wow. Declan Rice is having the game of his life here. He has scored two unbelievable free kicks. Jude Bellingham cannot believe what he's seeing here. Arsenal all over Real Madrid. This is even better, man. This is right into the top corner. Look who is beaten in goal. That's Thibaut Courtois. 6'6", 6'7", absolute giant. He is flailing. He is flapping into thin air. Declan Rice. Wow. Special, absolutely special. It's right into the corner, man. If he could have asked him to pick that ball and place it anywhere in goal, it would be right there. Arteta and his coaching staff cannot believe what they're seeing here. Declan Rice with two brilliant free kicks. My Arsenal friends are absolutely losing their mind. Why not, man? What a performance from them. If they play this right, Arsenal can get the third here. Madrid have been completely outclassed. Carlo Ancelotti has been made look like a dinosaur in this first leg by Mikel Arteta. Brilliant. Unbelievable, man. I did not see this coming. Camavinga clips the pass. Alaba with the header. Raya with the comfortable grab. Well, I'm so surprised that Real Madrid have not really made... Who do they change, really? Camavinga has picked up a yellow card for his troubles. Can they bring on maybe Brahim Diaz or Arda Güler? But they're really lacking creativity. But Declan Rice, he is the match winner. He is going to be in Arsenal's folklore if they go any further in the Champions League. This is as perfect as it gets, man. I thought the first one was special. The second, I got nothing to say. Special, absolutely special. Huge moment for them. What a 90 minutes this could be for Arsenal's season. If they can beat Real Madrid here, they'll feel that they can go all the way. The Emirates Stadium. It is one of the places to be in all of Europe, that's for sure. Incredible atmosphere. It is so loud out there. Superb, absolutely superb. Just have a look quickly at the other fixture. Well, Saka has come off for Arsenal, and you can hear the applause ringing at the Emirates Stadium as their star boy. His evening comes to an end. He's given them 70 very good minutes, and now he can just put his feet up for the second leg. I don't think they'll try and risk him at the weekend. We'll wait and see. Leandro Trossard comes on. Again, no real movement for Ancelotti. Very, very surprised here. You can see that Valverde has now come into midfield. Whether or not that change from by Lucas Vazquez coming on for Luka Modric will make any change. And it's an opportunity for Arsenal to try and attack down that left-hand side now, because Vazquez is not the most efficient defensively. We'll wait and see. But it does allow the midfield to have that runner of the energy of Valverde. But is it far too late? I really do think so. Here's Rice on a hat-trick here. Declan Rice, full of confidence. Here's Trossard now. Martinelli playing on the right-hand side. Lewis Kelly lays it off. First time effort. Oh, it's find the corner. It's Mikel Merino, and it's 3-0 to Arsenal. The first time shot from the Spaniard finds the corner, and Arsenal are in dreamland. Surely now Real Madrid might find this a bridge too far. 3-0 to the Arsenal. Look at their fans. They're in absolute delirium here. Real Madrid, with 15 minutes left in this first leg, have been thoroughly outplayed. They have been outclassed, and they're getting manhandled at the Emirates. Here it's 3-0, and they've absolutely blitzed Madrid in the second half. Two special goals from Declan Rice, driving in here, finding Trossard. Oh, is Trossard offside? I think he is on. It's Alaba who's played him onside. This is very clever. Lewis Kelly thought about the shot. It's so brilliant because he just lays it off, and it's Trossard with the first time effort. Brilliant, man. They have just found their shooting boots in the second half. Again, he's placed that right into the corner. It's a special finish from the makeshift centre forward, Mikel Merino. Unbelievable. Lewis Kelly has an assist, 18 years young, against Real Madrid. Madrid completely outplayed, and is the tie over here? It really could be. Arsenal are hungry for more here. Madrid do not know what's hit them. Trying to recover from that loss against Valencia, they have been thoroughly outplayed, thoroughly outclassed. And Ancelotti is scratching his head here. He knows that he has been tactically outmaneuvered by Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. Well, what do Arsenal do here? I think they should just shut up shop, but they're hungry for goals. They're completely on top of Real Madrid here. I did not see this coming. They played well in the first half, but this kind of clinical nature, Vasquez is so lucky that he gets the foul there. All three goals have been just that surprise element, and that has completely caught off everybody. Merino's first time effort is so quick, he takes it, and it's so clever because he knows that it's going to take something to try and unsettle Courtois. Oh, that's a clever pass. Here's Vinicius for the first time in the second half trying to burst into the box here. Vinicius thought about the shot. Oh, that's such a poor pass there from Mbappe. He's been cut an isolated figure in the second half. Bellingham concedes the foul, and he'll be very lucky to not get a yellow card. It's a cynical foul by the Englishman, and Odegaard is asking the question as to what more Bellingham should be able to do to get a yellow card there. It's a clear yellow. How has he escaped a yellow card there? It's crazy. Arsenal in dreamland, absolute dreamland here. Declan Rice has hit the deck. What a shift he's put in. He's completely nullified that midfield area. You will have to drag him off the pitch. You literally have to drag his carcass off the pitch to get him off here. Declan Rice will want to be a part of the entire 90 minutes. As it stands, his brace gave them the perfect platform, and then it was Mikel Merino. Man, this second free kick is so special. Wow. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Still 1-0 at the Allianz Arena. Lautaro Martinez, the difference maker as it stands. Bayern not able to break down the Italian champions here. You can see Declan Rice, 5 total attempts, 3 on target, 2 goals. Having his biggest night of his career here. He has won the Conference League with West Ham, but this is a different kettle of fish, man. Look at the Emirates bouncing. For Arsenal fans, this is time for Rice. to make way, and it is Jorginho who will be introduced into the final 10 minutes of action. Rice getting the standing ovation that he deserves. Oh, it's not Jorginho, it's Kieran Tierney, number 3, coming on. So he'll be playing as almost a left winger by the looks of it. Arsenal managing this game very well here. Alaba has come off of Fran Garcia. So the only 2 changes that Carlo Ancelotti has made that Real Madrid lineup has been the fullbacks. And have the fullbacks been the problem, really? I'm not sure. I think Ancelotti has real trouble in trying to pull out the likes of Mbappe, Vinicius, or Jude Bellingham for the likes of Arda Güler or Brahim Diaz or even Endrick. At this moment, he can surely try it, but with 10 minutes of stoppage time to go, Arsenal, well, they might just look for their 4th here and all but finish off this tie. It's going to take something very, very special from Real Madrid in the second leg. We know what they're all capable of doing, but with Arsenal's defensive record and how they defend, it might be done and dusted. Really might be done and dusted. Special performance. One of the greatest nights at the Emirates Stadium since its inception. Clever back heel here. Since they moved from Highbury to the Emirates, those European nights, they haven't had too many to celebrate. A few quarterfinals, that semi-final defeat to Manchester United in 2008, 2009. The furthest they have gotten in the Emirates area. Are they going to reach another Champions League semi-final here under Mikel Arteta? Courtois has been beaten with tremendous finishes. Here's Fran Garcia. Well, the Real Madrid fans will not be happy about this performance. They will be with back-to-back defeats here. It's almost threatening to derail their season. They were on for a treble. That drop points against Valencia, and now there's absolute trouncing at the hands of Arsenal. Here's Vasquez. Finds Rodrigo on the right-hand side. Here's Rodrigo trying to nutmeg Lewis Kelly. It's surely a foul. Good defending there by Kieran Tierney, doubling up, acting as that auxiliary fullback. Rodrigo not having one of those games where he really impacted the match there. As we look at Mikel Merino, clever from Lewis Kelly, man. He thought about the shot, but it's such an early finish, and it's between so many bodies, so Courtois is almost having to guess, and he dives quickly, but it's right in the corner. Arsenal finding solutions. And that's what you need top coaches to do. Find solutions in the biggest moments. And that's exactly what Arteta and Arsenal have done here. Here's Thomas Partey. Clever nutmeg there by Trossard. Here's Odegaard on the right-hand side. Martinelli flashes it across. Fran Garcia gets the last touch. And it's a corner. Arsenal continue to attack. Incredible appetite shown here from the Gunners. 7 minutes plus stoppage time remain for Arsenal. 3-0 to the good here. Absolute dreamland settings for them. You can see the collision there from Bellingham and Lewis Kelly. Ooh, Lewis Kelly has just left his studs at the calf of Bellingham. It's a naughty one. Won't really get pulled up for it because they were already in contact, but see what you have done there, Lewis Kelly. This leaves a little extra. Nothing too malicious. That's a corner here for Arsenal. Goodness, if they score another one here, Madrid are well and truly out. Odegaard's ball in. Courtois should be favourites. Saliba got there first. Trying to get a shot away here. Anywhere will do. Surely a foul. Kieran Tierney just barges into Rodrigo. That's a clear as day foul. 6 minutes plus stoppage time remain here for Arsenal. Well, they're surely going to hang on. And Brahim Diaz coming on for Rodrigo. It's far too late though. 6 minutes plus stoppage time. Brahim Diaz now, he'll be occupying that right-hand side, but It's been the central area where Real Madrid have not got to grips with the game. Camavinga has almost been the lone warrior. They've really missed the presence of Chouameni in the middle of the park. Completely outplayed. Arsenal have been far too physical. They've kept the ball better. They've moved the opposition around better. And they have the reward here. It was a 17-minute spell. It started in the 58th minute, and it ended up with 3-0 by the time it was 75 minutes on the clock. Incredible blitz from the Gunners here. Nicely played. Feeds it onto the right-hand side. 5 minutes plus stoppage time from Arsenal, having one of the best results in the Emirates era. Martinelli with the ball in. Rudiger should be able to clear that, and he does. Bellingham trying to bring that under control. The two number 5s in Bellingham and Partey battling there. Last touch coming off the Ghanaian. The roar at the Emirates Stadium is something that even I want to hear. It's going to be very, very special. We're not just beating Real Madrid, but absolutely trouncing them. It really is something to behold. Again, a lot of those fouls now starting to creep in. Trying to keep it short here. Arsenal just have to keep the ball here. See, Mbappe, Vini have been anonymous in the second half. Here's Kivior. Arsenal fans would have been dreading the fact that Gabriel Magalhaes pulled up at the weekend, knowing that Mbappe would be licking his lips facing the likes of Jakub Kivior, but they haven't really gotten the ball behind there for the centre forward. The first real chance that he had was brilliant work by Jude, but other than that, Mbappe in the second half and Vini, it's just been a cardio session for them. Just try to cover a lot of ground, but no real quality. If they pick the pass here, but they can't really capitalize. Arsenal can just a bit nervy, but they play it out beautifully. What a pass that is from David Raya. Finds Leandro Trossard. A bit of space opening up on the left-hand side. Tierney is there for support. Decides to play it centrally. Merino almost dropping in as an auxiliary midfielder now. Arsenal not needing a centre forward now. 3-0 to the good here. Gabriel Martinelli is almost playing as that centre forward with Odegaard on the right. Here's Trossard. Odegaard, clever, but not able to back that forward. Now, if you're looking at man of the matches, I mean, Declan Rice is surely going to get it for the brace. I want to give a huge shout out to Miles Lewis-Skelly, man. 18 years of age. You're in 12th grade. 12th standard. You're preparing for our board exams. Lewis-Skelly is out there getting a 3-0 result against the defending champions. The 15-time Champions League winners are getting their asses handed to them. Still attacking here. Real Madrid, what has happened? I mean, as strange as it might sound, I think Ancelotti's job might be in danger here. You know how demanding Real Madrid are, knowing that the treble was on and to potentially lose it within a week. The La Liga is still very much on because there's about 8 games remaining and it's only a 3-point difference. But if that's to slip away and the Champions League in this fashion, you've seen Florentino Perez be as ruthless as they come. Might just pull the trigger. 90 seconds remain in the 90 minutes here. Incredible scenes. Partey with the header, trying to just cushion that. Fran Garcia gets rid of it. Good header down. Can Madrid try and get one? They've been immediately. It's been men against boys in the second half, man. There's no other way to describe it. Madrid have just not been at the races. They've been thoroughly outplayed. They've been outclassed. They've been outmanned, outgunned. You can have any adjective that you want. It's been a real eye-opener. Good pass forward. Tierney trying to get there. Asensio does well just to lay that off. Again into final minute of Normal time. Oh, the game has really exploded at the Allianz Arena as well. Thomas Müller scored in the 85th minute to make it 1-1. And then 3 minutes later, Fratesi scores. So Inter regain their lead at Allianz Arena. Incredible day of Champions League action here. 3 goals in this game, 3 goals in the other. Outstanding. Here's Fran Garcia finding Vinicius Jr. Here's Vinicius. Vinicius with the effort. It's far too selfish, man. You cannot be shooting. And it's straight, courtesy of the deflection in the hands of David Raya. Well, we're into stoppage time here. Arsenal nearly home and dry. What a performance this is. This game will be etched in the history of the Emirates Stadium. This will never be forgotten. And believe you me, Arsenal fans will not let us forget about this one. 3-0 to the good, and they completely deserve it. It's not been a smash and grab. It's not been backs to the wall. They have totally dominated, and they've scored 3 unbelievable goals. Martin Odegaard's reaction to Declan Rice's second free kick was all of us. And then Merino adding the third and his trademark celebration. Arsenal fans in absolute dreamland here. Carlo Ancelotti with the raised eyebrow as Mikel Merino's. Has his evening come to an end? I don't think so. They'll just keep it as is. 3 minutes to go here. Bayern Munich trailing at home. See, Jurrien Timber has been withdrawn for Benjamin White. A welcome sight for Arteta, seeing his right back fit again. See, they're trying to win this game. Well, Arteta has done very well, hasn't he, in the last couple of seasons to get where he has gotten. But games like this is where your pedigree as a manager just goes a level higher. In the big pressure moments up against the big names, they've put in a very, very special performance here. They're halfway through stoppage time, and Real Madrid just want to pack up and go home here. Arsenal can sense this. They might just get another, They can just pick their moments, pick that right pass. Madrid are already, I think their mind is already at the Bernabeu here. They know that they have to pull out something very special in the second leg. They're very much capable of doing it, but boy, they have left themselves a mountain to climb here. Lewis Kelly, outstanding pass. One of the standout players for Arsenal. So has Thomas Partey. Here's Trossard. Clip pass, trying to find Martinelli. Good defending there by Fran Garcia. Again, the long ball forward will be easily gobbled up. Saliba, so imposing as the centre half. Rudiger finds Asensio. Vasquez. Again, the fullbacks changes. I didn't really understand it. I mean, it didn't make sense tactically. It didn't make sense as to what the game needed at that moment. As we're into the final minute of stoppage time here, Real Madrid looking for a goal to try and bring down this deficit. It's Mbappe, might go by himself here. Mbappe waits for it. Valverde thought about the shot. Good pressure there by Trossard. Here's Vasquez clipping the ball in. Good defending again. Arsenal trying to get rid of it. Anywhere will do. Fran Garcia trying to recover here. Arsenal for the first time in the second half being put under some sort of pressure, and it's in the final 30 seconds of stoppage time here. Here's Mbappe. Quick muscles again. Mbappe brilliant again, but is trying to do too much by himself. And Arsenal, if they played this right, might just be able to get that away. They should get the foul, and that should be that. Oh, Camavinga's already picked up a yellow card, and he just might get a second yellow and a red card. It is so needless from Eduardo Camavinga, who will miss the second leg. What have you done? I mean, it's frustration. You're not a kid anymore, despite your age. You've been at this level. He has kicked the ball out in anger, and he's picked up a red card. His second yellow. He's being waved out by the Arsenal fans. And Real Madrid's evening has just gone from bad to worse to just absolutely terrible. You cannot do that, Camavinga. I mean, he might have won the ball first and he doesn't feel that the foul is given, but you cannot kick the ball. No eye contact there with the coach. Madrid now have a real problem going into that second leg. They're already bare in midfield. Tchouaméni not playing today, and now Camavinga won't be available for that second leg. This surely must be that. Referee has had a look at his watch. Incredible scenes here. Surely the last action as Courtois boots this forward. Madrid, it's now or never for them. And the referee blows the full-time whistle, and Arsenal have their biggest result in the Emirates era. 3-0 against the defending champions, the 15-time Champions League winner. And it's that man, Declan Rice, who will take all the headlines with 2 special free kicks. The first one was outstanding. The second was a thing of beauty, right into the postage stamp. And it was Merino who added the third with a very clever first-time finish in a crazy 17 minutes in the second half, where Arsenal absolutely blitzed Real Madrid here to smithereens. 3-0 for Arsenal. They're in dreamland, and they probably have 1 foot into the semi-finals. And it's all to do for Real Madrid as they take this 3-0 deficit into the Santiago Bernabeu. Crazier things have happened in the Champions League with that team, but with this performance, Arsenal will feel that they have a foot in the semi-finals. It's full time here at the Emirates Stadium. It's Arsenal 3, Real Madrid 0.